a nonprofit organization that was formed in 2003 for the sole purpose to support and advocate that seniors age in place, hopefully in their current residence if possible, where they can be comfortable, they can be independent, and they can stay there safely. Now, the coalition is made up of 85 members. It's made up of both the private sector, the public sector. We have government agencies like your Mayor's Office on Aging. We have nonprofits like ITN, Charleston Trident, which you're familiar with. And we have the South Carolina Geriatric Research Universities that also participate. So we have quite a diverse group. Now, the whole idea here, of course, is to make sure that seniors, when they're looking for providers, can go someplace that they believe in, that they trust. So all 85 members sign a code of conduct. The code of conduct basically says to seniors that, look, we're going to treat you with dignity, we're going to treat you honestly, and we're going to have your best interest at heart. And so that's the basis for our organization. Now, we say that aging in place doesn't happen by accident. It takes planning. And so, as a result, we have the Speakers Bureau. They go out and they present seminars and workshops. In fact, just last week, they made a presentation to the Low Country Senior Center, which you're very familiar with. We also believe that transportation is certainly key to independent living. So we've been early sponsors of ITN, just like you have. And we also have, of course, a resource guide. When seniors and their family and their caregivers are looking for resources to help them go through this difficult stage, sometimes of aging, where you need providers, our resource directory that we publish lists all 85 members in there so that people have a place they can go. But we're here today to talk about the fact that you have had a vision, I think, for older people in Charleston for a long time. A vision that says Charleston should be a community that is senior friendly. And I think you have done that in a number of ways in the action that you've taken. And Mark's going to tell you a little bit more about what we think about that.
Mayor Riley, again, thank you for being here today. And again, as Paul mentioned to you, your vision of what makes a senior-friendly community is very evident by the actions that you've taken over the course in your career as our leader here in Charleston, and we're so very grateful and thankful for that. You established the very first Mayor's Office on Aging in South Carolina, so to ensure the concerns of older citizens were heard at the highest level of your administration. You were one of the first to recognize how important transportation was, as Paul mentioned earlier, with ITN Charleston Trident, the nonprofit independent transportation network for older adults and the visually impaired. You played a huge role, as Paul mentioned earlier, the Low Country Senior Center that you're familiar with. You arranged for the donation of that land as well for the building and helped with the financial foundation of this important community center for our older adults. Your ongoing support for the infrastructure that is so important to seniors, such as the improved city lighting, public safety, parks and recreation, equal job opportunities for older adults, is so much appreciated and needed in our community. We could go on and on with a list of many initiatives that you continue to work on, Mayor Riley, to the fact that you yourself are a role model for Aging in Place, Mayor Riley. So the South Carolina Aging in Place Coalition met, and it was unanimously decided we'd like to recognize and appreciate you and present to you here today, if I may, the 2012 Vision Award on behalf of all of the members of the South Carolina Aging in Place Coalition for your continued vision and your walking it out every day in all that you do and say within our community. Mayor Riley, thank you for what you do and congratulations on behalf of all the members.
Thank you very much, Paul. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish that I could be with you today, this evening, but it was just impossible. But this is such a huge honor. And I receive it humbly because I know the coalition members and the members of those coalition members are the ones that ought to be receiving this award. You know, in my job as mayor, I must work hard to make sure that I give voices to those who don't have voices without Mayor's Office of Children, Youth, and Families. I'll give a stronger voice to those whose voices might not be as strong in terms of them being seniors and perhaps a bit less mobile or a bit less involved in the community and to make their voices heard. The fact is that a great city is a city for every citizen. The tiniest one, the youngest one, and the most senior one. We make a city so that people's lives can be fulfilled. And certainly with our seniors to encourage and support aging in place as long as possible. I certainly thank the citizens of Charleston for letting me age in place in my job. Very nice of them, and I'm grateful for that. But when we do that, we're giving them a voice. We all know that those who can, they're healthier and happier, and that gives something to the community. You know, a resident at home, still at home, with all the connections of neighborhood. You know, I'm walking the street or speaking to the children in the neighborhood, or, you know, being able to walk to someone's house for a meal or vice versa. Being near the church that was so important to them and you know, seeing the kids at the park, volunteering nearby, all those and hundreds of other things that happen that are so beneficial to the community, that when citizens are able to safely age in place, and that requires a support system. Remember when we celebrated, I forget how many thousand rides it was on the Independent Transportation Network, but a dear man who lived on James Island, who had moved here, his niece is helping him, you know, be able to age in place, but he couldn't drive, couldn't get around, and he's able to connect with the community in a wonderful way. He's got energy, he's a joy to be with, and you know, and spills forward in the community. And that's what happens when we support our seniors. The more successful our seniors are in the ability to live their lives in health and happiness with activities and events, and you know, like the Low Country Senior Center. It's one of my favorite things. I like just walking in. It's like I get vitamins just walking in because you see the joy. And then the friends meet, and you know, one of my favorite stories is a couple met there and got married. Yeah, the lady worked in the city, Mary Ann Lilienthal, and her husband died. She's going over there. The gentleman, Arthur, they meet, and so now they're married. And so that, you know, for me, it is just so joyful to know the good work that is going on because of the efforts of you, the 85 members, and certainly Janet Shoemaker, the wonderful director of the Office of Aging. So I accept this gratefully on behalf of all of you. Thank you so very much for the award, and thank all of you for what you're doing for the seniors in the state of South Carolina, all over the state. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Mayor Rowell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.